They're already in. Right. Drunk Divinter Devils get 300,000 against a Rebbl Skaven team. Chain Wax. A beautiful looking Rat Ogre. That's block and guard on the piece. And a 2-man bench with all 4 gutter runners, it's looking like. Yep. All 4 gutter runners. Only 1 Storm Vermin, but he's got everything he needs. And that is the Claw and Mighty Blow and Tackle skill. And we're going up against some Norse. You've induced, I believe this is Mighty Zug. Yep, it is. And we've also got Cindy Pie Whistles, so a star player package and a full-on bench for the Norse. So in an Armor 7 matchup, it's always good to have extra bench. Let me quickly fire up my phone and get chat open. And mute myself on there. Okay, I can now see messages. Hey, Kindred. And a little bit of Sunday afternoon Blood Bowl. Doesn't look like there's many skills. Ah, I see the gimmick. So you might be wondering, there's a lot of white circles. It looks like this is Inducement Norse with a Valkyrie, so that's Star. Very humble guy. Names himself after the only positional on the team. And we are going for Inducement Norse. Let me turn off the other Twitch stream I had open. I don't think you guys could hear it, but it was starting to break my brain. And it looks like we've got some random. I'm suspecting these are randoms, so we've got a random tackle or 2 to deal with the Agi. Some Mighty Blow from Zug. Zug also gets his once a game. No, don't worry, your cabin mode. I'm flattered that you've got the wealth of the American net. I assume you're still in America. American wilderness at your disposal, and you'd instead choose to watch this stream. That's very kind of you. So hopefully it's an interesting game to watch, Puppet. And the kick skill is useful. The quick snap result does not change much because we've got the orthodox boat. There is no submarining here. And we're gonna just, looks like we're gonna step back and get a little bit closer. It's a deep kick, so the Skaven, oh, they can go where they want, when they want, especially with this sort of setup. And oh, it's on the sideline, a spicy one. And if the Valk doesn't pick this up, so 10% of the time, well, 2% of the time, we get an end of turn from a failure into the ball going somewhere very strange, which is always good for the movement 9 team compared to the movement 6 team. Let's have a look and see how we do. I think that's just a knockdown. But that one survives. Sebstar getting a little... I don't think the Super Bowl winning Sebstar lets a line rat get away with 1-2 die block. I suspect he was a bit worried about the blitz, so he didn't want to have full conga setup. A little bit sloppy, I think. But yeah, still the first round. So this is play-ins. Both these teams are coming in from the fresh division. A couple of newer coaches. The playoffs have already played so far. And the heavy hitters will be coming in next week. No, I believe one of the games has been scheduled for an hour from now. Although I don't know whether that might be the Sunday after this one. Now that I think about it, that would make sense. And Zug is going to be our blitzer today. It's the only Mighty Blow piece the Norse have. And it's going to be Zug Watch. He's going to be running into line rats. Mighty Blow block into armor 7+. Armor 8+ even. And that'll be how the Norse get their win. Let's have a look at these gutter runners real quick. A token wrestle. Wrestle strip. 2 blood steppers, one with guard. And a decent gutter core. We don't quite have... So when they get really scary when the mutations come in. Wrestle strip. This is still quite an honest sacking piece. Strength 2 wrestle strip. But when you get horns and... what's another good one? They like to take 2 heads. So it dodges on a 1+ instead of a 2+, which becomes very important when you're diving into a cage with multiple negative modifiers. Very strong. And we try and pick up and hand off to get ourselves away from the sideline. And the catch skill does not help us out. An interesting way of doing it. And what it does is it gives us 4 boys around, well, 3 boys and a girl around the ball. And so even though I mean, it's not even in range of the Gutter runners, but even if the Skaven cuts in half, there's still a lot of Norse to fight with. And well, this is an interesting look here at Now's coaching early on, because in my head, this is a very obvious move all these guys over here, so that the Norse Zerg can't get back to the ball, and I think that's where we start. This is a block lineman, a very cheeky random block lineman, a very useful skill. A lot of Skaven linemen, at least in Blood Bowl 2, when you had to pick your skills, would pick Wrestle over the block, because as movement 7 you get most of the time, if you're movement 7 you're blocking somebody with less movement, so Wrestle is better. And it also denies follow-up blocks, so when your armor 8 plus, Wrestle is always very good. But block is still very strong. Block also helps you cause damage. But with the Rat Ogre and a Claw Killer, I don't think they need too much health in terms of damage. We'll see. It's been about a minute 20. Both teams run with a time bank here. So Sebstar's already taken 20 seconds out of his. And it could be a long game. If we go to overtime, there might be a lot of time bank needed. Here comes the boys. How good a screen are we going to get? What we'll do is I will whack the T button a couple of times. So we can see this is the Norse's point of view. So let's click on the Valkyrie. This is currently the tackle zone situation facing the Valkyrie. And yeah, we're really trying to figure out the best way of doing this. We don't want a screen that gets easily punctured. We do have 2 sidesteppers to help with that, and here they come. I don't want to be too nitpicky. I would have expected one of the sidesteppers to be one of the pieces stood over here, to make it harder for them to just walk down the sideline. And that is a Rat Ogre who has rolled a dub skull, and so as a result, this drive could have been very difficult for the Norse, and it does that dub skull does give them an out, and it looks like we took a reroll there. Yes, we did. Took a reroll. Lona, unfortunately, doing it, and we go back to back with the skulls. Unfortunately, Kindred's Tender Thrashing can reroll, and does so. Yeah, big mistake from Chainwax. But if I'm not mistaken, they were just coming in to cause a ruckus, right? They were going in onto one of these. Was it maybe to free up Q? Might have been to free up Q. Yes, in fact, that probably is exactly what it was. I was too busy looking over here. I wasn't paying attention. These are the line rats, so maybe they just did it. I don't know. Either way, more punches on line rats. See how long they last. Yeah, is anyone? I don't know whether there's any Rebbl coaches or any Big O coaches here. Does anyone know how well these guys did during the season? Obviously, they made playoffs from Fresh Division. Any clues to the records, temperament? Because they're both non-G-Man coaches, I know very little. Obviously, Sebstar's won a Super Bowl. I know that much. And this is his idea of a goofy gimmick team, which is a team where everybody starts with block. Yeah. Tackle is a very good skill. Gets results here. And we do, because we didn't get 2 more pieces over here. Tackle was fine. I was a bit surprised we didn't try and move Claps before the blitz, especially if we're Rat Ogre blitzing. I think it was like 8-3-1. Oh, very solid record. And we go into bank here. We've managed to get a stun on the sidestepper with guard. This is a very good piece of stun. So you just have to pick up the ball. We do so with our sure hands randomed. That's fun. Wanting to keep the Valkyrie around. And we're going for the most based of cages. The eye cage. Trusting in block. And we have sure hands, so the strip isn't doing much here. And we're going to throw some cheeky one dies. Because we're Norse, that's all we do. And we get another stun. So, Mauser can get out of this, but it's looking a bit hotshot. And the problem with these rat ogres and these big guys in general, we've seen it a little bit with some Chaos Minotaurs and such, but once they go down, especially the unchanneled Fury ones, you kind of forced to blitz them up again, and it means that your follow-up turn is a lot worse. Or you just leave them down and take 4+ chances to get them up. And I think this blitz is probably one hoping, looking to the sideline, asking for permission. And he's got a second in Rebbl for us. Nice to see you, Mackie. Ah, 4 of us have made it to the quarterfinals. Thank you, Puff. Puppet Justice filling in with some retroactive law. I could have sworn someone else did it. Thanks for filling me in. So the second team in Rebbl Fresh versus what looks like the winning record in Big O Fresh. So this is quite an unlucky draw, I think, for both teams to have seen each other. I'll have a look afterwards and see who, after the game, and see who the winner is due to play. Actually, no, I don't think I can, realistically, because I don't have a spoiler-free version of the bracket to hand. I'll look it up off stream and tell people instead of exposing the results from yesterday. Because there was some good games yesterday. I expect people will want to go back and watch them. Anyway, we're going to try and finish up the screen that we were starting last turn. The collapse is going to have to go into 3 tackle zones, I'm pretty sure. That's Oh, he gets up. Oh no, he blitzed him. Oh yeah, this is what I mean. You have to blitz him up. And no dice. Although it's better than 2 skulls, but it's not a lot better. Ratoga gets in an interesting position to cut off this move to the left. But yeah, we're going to dodge away as best we can. Z will probably take the last action of the turn. I'd be very surprised if we keep this gutter runner stuck on the tackle. But it looks like, yeah, we're trying to get as many blocks as we can. We're going to wrestle one to the floor. And maybe we do. Maybe we just trust in Blodge. No, yeah. So we'll screen it off a little bit here. Not particularly. We're going to go help the Rat Ogre out. Give them a friend. And we stand up the kicker. Where are they off to? I suppose they come back over here. We've still got... Zug's still got a victim that we've yet to move. Oh, I think this is some Playins nerves here from Nauza. This is not the way you want to do it, I don't think. I think if he's playing in the regular season, this dodge happens before any of this, but another skull. So Sebstar's going to get all the punches he can ask for. Decides against it though. Wants the other tackler back. There are gutter runners lurking around, of course. And Zergan fought at the start. The big boys aren't doing too much to start. They're both limbering up, loosening up. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, we are going to go for this Rat Ogre. The gutter runner was an attempt to cut some of the extra tackle zones. Cut the extra assists. But I suspect this mark implies that we're going to try and block Chain Wax down here. The ball is now going to be very safe as well. Finally get to relax and take a drink. Here we are. We're going in with a pro, just in case something goes wrong, but we're going to blitz in to free up our dirty player. There's problem is there's not too much to foul. We could foul this piece actually. Actually, no, I understand it now. Yeah, we're going in for we're going to keep the ball nearby, probably as an assist for the foul, and we're going to drop a big boot in on the Star Gutter runner here, the Lodge Step Guard. Not alcoholic. Drunk casting. Oh, I turn into too much of a dickhead when I'm drunk, so I wouldn't pass the Rebbl test. In my head, it's just this player stands here, and then the Valkyrie stands here, and we drop the boot. Hello. Can't talk today. Alright, we're figuring it out. We don't want to fill up any squares to get pushed around with. And this player might stand in place now, because this is a bit of a screen off against people going around. No. Still like caging it. Well, the wrestler might take a shot here. Or maybe the block line rat can take a shot. So I suspect Nossa Ball will have to stand either here or stay. And then we round off the cage corner. And this is the chance now. Get a 1 dice hit. And if this... No, I was about to say if it stays. But oh, it badly hurts. Big boot put in. We do have an apothecary. And out he comes straight away. Starman stays. They'll be back. And the ref's not happy. They want a bribe. But we'll argue the call and the coach gets sent off. Oh dear. And the player. No use for a bribe. Don't get uppity with the refs, folks. You've just got, you know, just bribe the man. And the dirty player's out. Although I suspect with Cindy Pie Whistle waiting in the wings, that's probably what was playing on the coach's mind as he strayed out onto the pitch to argue that one instead of just paying the bribe. I will come in later. And that's the turn. And what will the Skaven go for now? They don't have their guard to make it a 2 dice shot, but they can get 1. And this piece doesn't have dodge, so I suspect we'll do it. We also have a gutter runner with Blodge Step ready to pick up a scatter should we get lucky. And yes, Sebstar hanging the ball. Went for the big time foul. Wanted all the assists. Perhaps baiting the sack here. Is happy to give up at what is essentially a 5+ for the opponent. But it's a bit risky bisky. Because they haven't done any damage to the rats yet either. Yeah, that was the only damage. And playing at a 1 touchdown deficit when they've still got a full complement could get very scary. But we go back with what would have been our scoring piece. So now I'm coloured confused. I suppose we're not going to take it. You've got. I guess the thinking is we've got a lot more Blood Bowl left. Our Rat Ogre's been knocked over again. We need to blitz it again. Tackle's not a bad thing to get rid of if we are blitzing, so it's still a fair blitz. What's Seb's inducements? Very good question. I suspect it is a bribe in 2-star players. Yeah, it is bribe, Zug, and Cindy. Which comes out to about 300. Maybe it was about close to 400. I think that's all there is. Might be wrong. But yeah, bribe, Zug, Cindy. No keg. Ratogre Blitz yet to actually hurt anybody. Just thrashing around. On to Kindred. There we go. 8 dice, 6 dice later. No, 8 actually, 8 dice later. Kindred's Tender Thrashing finally hits the turf. And they're only stunned. Do we go and mark Zug? I'd be very surprised if we do, but the way Knaus has been playing, I suspect he might stand it. No, we're going to be sensible. Roger Blitz threatening. Kindred calling for the sack. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, especially with Shakavium Glass. These are some great names. Sorry, it's not that. It's User Jero was stood here, 9 movement, Lodge Step, ready to swoop on anything decent. And we could have even pushed them here on the knockdown. So these 3 squares suddenly get very good. We're not going for it. Only has 2 rerolls. Wants all his pieces to defend deep into the drive, I suppose. And this is what the Norse are looking at in terms of tackles is now. If you're excessive admin style, Red Velvet Swords 5. He's got a real way with words, doesn't he, Sevstar? This is what they're looking at in terms of tackles. And this one will go away, most likely. So it's shaping up to be a nice hole opening up here for the ball to step into. The Roger is a problem. But sometimes they just roll a 1. And we've got enough block. Do we even have a Dauntless? We don't have a Dauntless, but we've got Mighty Zerg. That might be enough. Basing up. Now this surprises me. We don't have guard. Marking the tackle. I guess it is a tackle killer, so we'd rather it doesn't hit anything. And with the way that Knaus has been Roger blitzing, if we didn't mark it, you might not have taken a block all drive. So we'll see. Yeah, didn't like the tackle. To be fair, once you go from this angle, there's a lot of bad scatters for a Skaven. You might even have to like push him here to negate this square being the scatter square. 4 potential catches. It's not like the greatest shot in the world. I think it's just because it was a very low resource hit, as well as the other argument for it, in the sense that it was 1 line rat and a gutter runner. There's no tackle here yet. Like the tackle wouldn't come down, so you can probably. It's not a big investment. No one's getting wrapped between 3 pieces and stuck. Oh wow, we're going all the way in. Sebstar was like really wants the ball to go down for some reason. He saw that there is reticence to throw a 1 dice and he's testing it. Big injury for Zerg to close out the turn. Open the account for the drive. That's 1 line rat down. And this is Loosey Goosey eating a sandwich. He's very lucky that the guard got injured. And I suspect the guard getting injured is why he's playing like this, because he just knows that there can be no 2 dice hits. And there's a lot on the ground. Where can the Roger get to here? I think we may have underestimated the willingness here for a Roger hit. I mean, this is why he's done it like this, because you see these 2 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This Roger hits the ball off 2 rushes, which is 3 2+, no reroll. I suspect the safer thing is to go after someone else, which would then open some sort of assist. Oh, it has guard. The Roger has guard. Of course it does. Well, yeah, in that case, you just crash into the Valkyrie and end up in this square. And then easy 2 dice. And yeah. Easy 2 dice, and then we've got a gutter runner in desperate need of a level up. Ready and waiting to catch this ball, so... All on to Chain Wax. They messed up at the start of the drive. They can redeem themselves here. We'll see what they do. Big 2+ activation here for the big man. Now's the taking a moment. Seeing what you can get done before all this. We'll deny Zug another removal. Oh, we're going to walk through. Well spotted. And now user Q is in the neighborhood. Won't be able to do anything this turn, though. Here we go. That is actually not what we want. Double 6. I mean, we get a kill. Never mind, it's what we want. A big death. Valkyrie down. That's what you get for naming somebody after yourself. Never mind. The FO saves? No, it's only a broken arm. But they'll be gone. For the next... Well, they get an MNG clear, but they're out for the game. The only blodge are gone. And the rogue is on the board. A death is a death, although it does make the hit a little bit harder. So, yeah. What are we going to go after? We'll take our 2 dice, and then I suspect we'll follow. And then take our 1 dice. Oh, another break. Norse doing Norse things. And our 1 dice is unfortunately a push. And we can't get it on the prehensile tail. Oh, we re-roll. I like this. Ball now down. And we will follow to lock up the tackle. A big time break from the gutter runner there. Another stun. Norse on the outside looking into the ball. And the back-to-back eye caging. I mean, Sevstar may well be drunk. But he's been punished. My steak is too juicy, absolutely. My lobster's too buttery. I don't think there's anyone left to activate. We're thinking about throwing a fadeaway block, but we'll dodge the kicker. More punching. I can get behind this. Both coaches, they've got benches. They're willing to get some blocks thrown. And Norse. Oh, no, they just kind of concede the drive, right? Not a boar needs to make a big-time blitz or dodge like a boar to get through to this ball. But even then, look at all these guys just staring at you. Squad K Squozen is always on their feet next turn, and this guy I can run it in. Claps McFuebe. Fubi. I don't know how you'd say that. These are some really goofy names. Let's go around the board. We've got Ek, Av, Z, Ru. I hope the line rats make the big time plays because I'm gonna have an easier time saying them. Q is Are these like Scrabble two tile combinations? Anyway. Break right back. Take our 2 dice hits at the very least. Zerg on the outside looking in. Might crash in here onto the gutter with a 3 dice blitz. Potentially. Or they'll go, oh, he'll 1v1 the Rat Ogre to free up Richard Passmore. Oh, he gets the stumbles, big stumbles. That's what you're paying the big money for. A big break as well. Can he get rid of beeswax? Gives a thumbs up. Will he use the star player rule? He will for an injury. Crushing blow does its work. So mighty blow got through the armor, I suspect, and then crushing. Wait, hold on. Let me read it. No, so the sorry, crushing blow to save mighty blow for the injury check, and then injured. Oh no, it's a natural 10. So he didn't actually need to crushing blow, but he really wanted to get rid of that rat ogre. There's no Apo, so it is gone. And his identical twin is not very happy. With what's befelled beeswax, but that's a lot of team value off the pitch now for this Skaven team. And the Norse do still have the ball, although not for much longer. And Zerg is safetying, but he's just a bit too slow for the job. I think the play here is Giro has to come over and be the assist, and then we'll blitz with Squozen. Get the ball over down here, so no one can catch it. And then Claps McFuby comes in and scores it for a 1-0. And then we go again and try and turn it over again. My expectation. Oh, we can't quite get Cindy on the pitch. But now maybe the more efficient and better killer will get some work. Okay, we're going with it. Makes sense. We're going with the wrestle. Or sorry, the strip wrestle. That actually makes a lot more sense than what I was suggesting. Yeah, the strip wrestle. This guy is not a sure hands piece, so we'll take that 2 dice instead. Another injury. Okay, we're slowly getting Cindy out. So they started with a lot of players. How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, they had a full complement of 16. So we need 2 more casualties to force out Cindy and force out the bribe. And oh, we catch it. That means we can't. We can still score actually. We might be able to. We'll probably be able to stall for another turn or 2. And we can choose which gutter runner or blitzer we want to score on. Because we can definitely get a good screen going here. Assuming we... Well, actually, it is a 2+ from tackle. And we do just score right now. We want no delayed gratification here. We just score. Didn't like taking that 2+ from tackle. Didn't want to have to think about re-rolling it. Just wanted to score now. I have to take the 2+ rush. But whatever. Ignore me. 1-0 against SF Star. And no Valkyrie. No Valkyrie. And But luckily, they're all 3+ pickups, so it's not the end of the world that the Valkyrie's not here. Can still do the job, especially with XS, the sure hands Norse Raider lineman. 2 for base, hello. I don't think I've seen you this off-season. How's it going? Chimes in, of course, to offer their take on the play. Nice to see you. It was, yeah, I agree. I think, well, if you're happy to roll a 2-die rush to score, you should be happy to roll the 2-dice dodge to get a stalling screen going. Might have overestimated just how far Zug could get. I didn't quite count out, but the fact that the tackle was here, you can probably go and stand here and be safe. Anyway. Bosh, another deep kick. The kick's still getting some very good value. And a reroll comes back. Or did they tie it? They tied it with a draw. And the assistant coach that I think was the extra inducement is countered by the coach getting sent off for arguing the call. Yeah, not bad. Thanks, Super Base. Trying not to lose my voice from casting all these Playins games, but been worse. And here we go off the LOS. That's one. Shadowing. Honestly? Yeah, they went for it. They wanted to see if they could stand here. That could have been a little bit goofy. Line rat breaking through the LOS to charge downfield. I don't think Sevstar would have let that go. And 3 for 3 on the blocks. No, it's fine. Someone's got to do it. I'm a bit worried. I'm becoming, you know, the meme is like, oh, I've become accidentally important at work. I'm worried that I'm going to become accidentally important at Rebbl. So please, someone step up and take some games. Yeah, not a bad turn for these guys so far. Zug's yet to activate. And we would probably go and kill this. The kicker's getting some good value, so it is a fair target to blitz down this kicker. We will make it a big 3-die hit, and we need all 3 to get the result. 2 pushes and a pow. Down goes the kicker. And they stay down. Smashed knee. Another rat gone. I think they're through the bench now. Nauza will be hoping to get a 2-0. Or at least stop the score. I don't think these rats are going to make it to the overtime. Or if they do, there won't be many of them. And as I said earlier, they don't have the mutations that make them gods yet. They're still very morsel and honest and defeatable. So they will probably be hoping that the Norse can't score here. And they can run in the quick 2-turn, make it 2-0, and put the game to bed. Especially without the movement 7 Valkyrie. And oh, a lovely 1 in 9 if you're a rat fan. And it scatters backwards, so Sevstar's not happy with that one. Can the strip sliders slip through? Let's have a quick click around on the gutter runners. And the answer is not really unless we fight Zug. I think Crystal Hunter's still sending somebody through here. I think that, yeah, there's definitely a blitz onto can confirm. And when these become -1s, the gutter runners are happy to take those chances. But no, we're going to go for the tackle. We've picked our target. Actually, no, this isn't the blitz activation. We're still just taking the block maximizing. Blood Bowl 101. But yeah, rough pickup dice for the Norse here. They failed the first one as well, although they covered it off pretty well. And they failed the one they needed to make most. And yeah, we're committing our guard to open up this lane entirely. Oh, this is a cool line. Unfortunately, we get punished for the 1 in 9. And wishing we'd random wrestle instead of block, I suspect. And down goes the reroll. We've realised that, you know, we're not doing it. We're not going to stop the score if it happens. We're just going to try and make this 2-0 instantly. We can make it 3-0 if we do run it through. And now we've got to do it without a reroll. In comes the blitz. And we go for the rookie. Get a good enough result. I'm not sure about it. I mean, it's a 2-die blitz. I think I would have tried to get more pieces through because the way we've activated everybody to sort this out, we can only really get 2 gutter runners through. I think there's a way where if you're willing to throw a 1 die block and a few 3+ dodges, you can get a lot more people through and it becomes a lot more of a problem. I mean, you can't roll that bad against Skaven. I don't know. I think the foul setup was a bit... Like, he even like got the perfect foul and still ended up losing the possession. I don't know. I've never played Norse. I never played Norse against Skaven for that matter, so I'm definitely not the expert. Anyway, we've got the 10% chance that this goes to 2-0. The Sevstar desperately hoping that an Agi 3+ can pick up the ball, which apparently has been a challenge so far. Scoring threats? Not quite. Linen will have to step up a bit if they want to be the man of the hour. Ooh, if we click. Ah, the movement 9 gutter runner can surf if we try and evade the storm vermin, so. Bro? Pro says no. Pro says just take the push, buddy. We have dropped 3 rats, and one of them is we've got the kicker and we've got the rat ogre. So while it's not a dramatic, you know, a dramatic pitch clear, we've got some good important bits out the way. Drew the Apo. Greed was pretty badly punished. I agree with Mackie. Still 2 rats, still 2 Norsemen away from seeing Cindy. Although Cindy against rats, I don't know what Norse inducements are, but that feels a bit poor. You're not getting much good value, I don't think, with the bomb. And gutter runners can catch the bomb, so it's not a winning proposition in my opinion. Although she is just so goddamn cheap that you may as well. It's just as a 16th player on the roster, she's pretty good. Deciding if there's any more blocks we can take before we go for the miracle line. Zerg. Okay, I get the idea. We don't want to get surfed, but we want to be safe from the storm vermin. Oh, never mind. We are just going to sideline cage it up. All right. Scoring threat. Kindred Ascender thrashing is going to be the miracle. And we will hand off and pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll pass here to coach wheel, and then we will run over here and hand off. We still have a reroll, so there's a world where it works. No blitz yet, though. A little bit surprised. Yeah, we're going to go see if we can get a cheap shot on the gutter. Don't get the 6. But the gutter can't sidestep anywhere too useful. They can't. I don't think they can interfere with the pass. They will just get even closer. All right, the main event of the drive. And I think at this point, Sevstar has to think about not doing this and just taking the 1-0 loss in the half. No, we are doing it. We had a quick thought. It was like, no, I'd probably go 2-0 down anyway. And it doesn't fancy coming down from 2-0. Pass fails. It's inaccurate. And it's almost straight into the lap of Rue here. And Squab K can do it. Av can do it. I suspect it'll be Squab K. He comes in here. We want to get damage. We can't quite make it a 2-die for the wrestler. Ideally, you do go with wrestle here. But I just don't think it's... You would have to roll non-block blocks to make it a 2-die for the wrestler, I'm pretty sure. Or dodges. Yeah, we're just going to go in with the big man. Oh, not the big man. Oh, a dub skull. Okay. Never mind. Nothing you can do about that. If you're going to roll 2 1s, you're going to roll 2 1s. And can the Drunk Devils still score? It would be even harder now because we don't have that reroll. But it's technically possible. Statistically likely, I don't know, but it's technically possible. Massive dove skulls. Ended and started the half with the dove skull blitz, did Knauser. And they're still 1-0 up, so they've got to be doing something, right? $200 IQ play, drawing the dove skull. Don't you know it, Pepper Justice? Anyway, Z gets in the passing lane here, so there could be an interception. In comes the hit. Try and clear the ball up. One die pow. Beautiful stuff. There we go. Not wanting to scatter because the ball scattering over here is a pretty bad time, and it makes it probably even easier for the Skaven to score, so we're very happy. Mark the intercept. And now we'll take a 2-die block onto the shadow. And now I think we might pack in the scoring attempt and just try and lock this ball down and keep it to 1-0. Oh, well spotted. He didn't choose to pro. Interesting. No break. And the Seb goes into the bank. We are both coaches ticking under 4 minutes, which is pretty decent time management because we've made it to the half. And natural 6 on the pickup, but the pass does not work. Wait. Oh, failed pass and turns us over. We get a bit lucky with the inaccurate there, and that is probably going to be... This catch here is definitely good enough. I don't think Skaven have too much to do with it. Where's our strip ball? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, the strip ball can get round, but they can't. Oh, they can just step in. What am I talking about, man? Maybe I should look at the pitch before I start saying things. Easy 1-die with strip. We just have to stand up, and then 2+ away from the tackle. If we don't like Ashley, probably the better thing to do is take this 2-die block, in fact. Looking at blocking with block onto the sure hands as well. Yep. I don't think we want to... Yeah, we can't push the ball here. We'll just push him back. That's another assist. And they go. Now we have 2 dice with strip. Downside is that we can only go here. As opposed... Like, filling this square up, it gets us some more dice for the hits. But it opens up some worse ball scatter opportunities here if you're a Skaven fan. But it's always, with no reroll, it's always going to power. We don't go with strip, we go with the wrestle. Don't like walking away from tackle, don't like throwing a 2-die block without block. We'll take our odds, we get rewarded. And that's a nice stun. Oh, and a poorly timed catch from Tux. Couldn't help themselves but catch it. And that's the end of the half. User Giro is screaming on the pitch. And then we end it with a dove skull, befitting the play. Down it goes, 1-0 at the end of the half. Sevstar dancing with death a bit there in terms of his playoff hopes, but gets out of it. Only 1-0 down. And we can choose about whether we play Cindy this drive. I suspect this will be the Cindy drive because I don't think the Skaven are going to be attacking any other time. And in theory, you use the Bombardier on defense. Okay, let's go and stand behind the Skaven here. Robbed by your own team, the worst kind of robbery. There'll be words about that in the changing room, I'm sure. Pro safety. Tackle going on the LOS feels a bit odd. Suspect this will change, yeah. Over to the wide zones with them. And Zerg is a problem. There's no Rat Ogre to just efficiently deal with him. We've got to commit a load of pieces. I'm a little bit... I understand it. We're playing against rats. I guess with Zerg, I kind of sometimes want to go 1-0-1. just to make them like activate a lot more pieces to deal with Zug. At the moment we can like block and then move the assists away. But yeah, this is the goal of this setup is definitely to interrupt a quick 2-0. But these guys are very vulnerable. I'm surprised that like one of these players isn't Zug. Just to make this easy blitz in a little bit harder. And we leave it like this, so an obvious weakness in the defense, but we counter that by having Zug nearby in case it all goes wrong. Zug is right there. And I guess the idea is you have to stand somebody here to block Zug, and it gets all in. You have to move somebody here, and you get in your own way. I suspect is the thing. But at the same time, we can just go through the middle. I don't think this setup's as good as Sebstar thinks it is. But against Skaven, I think there's no... you know, you're going to give something up against a Skaven team if you're Norse. I don't think there is like a perfect defensive setup. Yeah, Cindy not used. That's a very interesting one. Cindy, I suspect, is just a 16th player. I think this fits the Cindy is our 16th player hypothesis. Especially now with the Ratogu gone. There's no one to throw the bomb towards, apart from maybe a line rat. Hey, Kianda. How's it going, dude? We're here watching Sir Sebstar. And they got ratted a little bit. They took the kick. Well, they tried to pick up the kick. It was a deep kick into the Norse's half on the sideline. Norse juggled the ball a bit. Had to drop 4 players back. Skaven got enough in the way. But there was a very greedy 5-assist foul that could have been like a 2 or 3 assist foul against this Gusser runner. And because it was a 5-assist foul, it let the cage get marked up, and they got sacked and scored on. Thank you, Kianda. That's very kind of you. And yeah, this was the big controversial foul. On the same foul, the ref blew it up, and they chose to argue instead of bribe, and they got sent off. The coach got sent off. So I was speculating saving the bribe for Cindy, but Cindy's yet to take the field, so find out. It might have been the case with Mackie that I think stunty coaches tend to always argue. Oh no, tell a lie. You always argue on weapons checks. First. That's it. You argue on the weapons checks. On the actual fouls, yeah, you still probably have to bribe. And we burn our reroll, overtime format. And there goes our first reroll. We're trying to open up a gap. And we do just about do it, but he wanted more. He wanted a knockdown, I believe that was what that was for. Oh no, he wanted a push. That was what we were after. Yeah, we were after a push. We do get that push. Yeah. 2, 3. Okay, how far can we get? I don't think it's too comfortable of a breakthrough. Tackles are very wide. Can't really screen them both off. And they can both get to the center. Oh yeah, the pitch invasion really did a number on it. Yeah, I'm now that I'm looking at it. This was a pitch invasion square here. Yeah, not the bestly handled start to the 2-turn. Are we still going to go through with the 2-turn? It looks like we are. Anyway, this might be where some Skaven coaches go wrong. They commit to they think I have to 2-turn because I'm an Agi team, and then the dice don't quite go their way, and they end up using a lot of resources, and they still struggle a bit. But we have got it. I think we've got enough. We'll re-roll for this. And if there's no 1 in 81, we are going to be through. We do indeed roll a 6 first time of asking. Gosh, we even break for good measure. No knockouts here, guys. We deal purely in injuries. No knockouts. Stuns or injuries only. And there comes through the cage. So, looking like a very academic 2-0 here. Zug stuck on the Shadower. And we're looking to get away from that, and we will not take a Mighty Blow hit. Does it matter though? No, we seriously injure ourselves getting away from the Mighty Blow hit. The floor is lava today. That is 4 rats down. We are now down to 10. Perfect Justice informing the masses as to sending off interactions. The seasoned stunty coach. And that reminds me, I need to copy paste the VOD for the Goblin game into the Goblin Town channel. I'll do that after this if I remember. Right, what can the Norse get up to here? Not a lot really. I think we just have to go with the tackler, try and get over something that's a positional. Or we go with Zug. Might go with Zug into the blitzer. But it is the gutter runners that are causing the agony here for the Norse. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zug go for this 3-die hit. The Rebbl Stunty Cup winner is Puppet Justice this season. Flexing it out in chat, as is your right. Push skull for the Zug. Disappointing result because he's going to tank a claw shot here. Or will he? The answer is probably right. We can flood in with the tackle on the gutters. Downside of offsetting our cage a bit is that this can now happen. Suspect that Knauser was gonna have it wide, remembered that gutter runners like dodging and then quickly closed it up, but given this line, a 1-die shot on the claw to save Zug doesn't work. In fact, skulls. And we use a reroll. We will keep this one though. Down goes the sure hands. And I think that was quite a reckless reroll. Considering the situation, that felt like quite a frustrated God, can I not get something to work reroll? And it just results in... Oh, it's an extra assist for this block. So it's not completely worthless. But as it stands, yeah, we've got another gutter who can come over. We have an easy line rat to come over. And we can take a nice, chill 2-die hit. And then we will just not snake, I think is the plan. Just not snaking is the plan. And it's usually a pretty good one. 97% of the time, it's a good one. Unfortunately, that rogue 3% can be pretty unforgettable at times. Richard Passmore eats the turf. And it really didn't matter. Because a 1 in 9 gets served. It was exactly a snake here that would have been a problem. Don't get it. Away we go. 2-0 Skaven. Inducement Norse meeting its natural predator in the form of a very trim and efficient Skaven team. I say that, it's got a Rat Ogre with doubles on it. Maybe just any Skaven team. Well, especially once the Valkyrie goes down. That's a bit of a death now. He did try to Apo. It was killed. Yeah, it was killed by the Rat Ogre. I remember it now. Chainwax got a victim. Was it Chainwax? Or was he already gone? No, yeah, it was Chainwax. Because, yeah, I remember now. I was saying, oh, you kind of don't want to pal the Valkyrie here because it robs him of the guard being useful. And then he just killed the Valkyrie. I think he heard me in the commentary box and tried to send a message. Murdering me. It's a yellow submarine. Kianda's in chat. Commissioned another yellow submarine here. The Kianda special. And Bowser thinks this game's over. He's in full protection mode. He's saying that Norse linemen can't 3-turn me twice in a row, so we're just going to sit back and relax and have a good time. I agree. Volatile matchup. And this time it is the Norse that exploded in the most dramatic fashion. I love that there's been not a single knockout. Either everyone's fine or everyone's cripplingly hurt. And that's Blood Bowl, baby. Perfect weather. We have a conga line setup. We might be going for a surf here. Yeah, YS here could definitely get surfed if we roll enough pushes. Up we go. Sneaky plans being discussed in the chat. Injury once again. Just like I said, blood for the blood god, baby. Can we get another? No, not this time. But Zug's winding up for a 3-die, gets his man. Well, gets his rat, I should say. But Zug not having a good show. He got that early injury to grab the headlines and has been very quiet since. A lot of the players been focused on the ball, which isn't what he's after, but still disappointing. I just realised that Sebstar's put an S in his team name, as well as naming the most important piece after himself. He's a natural Australian. You guys need to give him that citizenship already. No European is ever being that immodest. Cheeky jump over check to complete this screen? Probably not. Anyway, can we pick it up? Struggle to do this. I think we're probably 50-50 on pickup attempts, which is not a good sign. Maybe 65, 63, 33. Which in theory is even, but the failures tend to come back to back, which counterfeits the sure hands pretty badly. Are we going to throw? No, we're going to foul. Yeah, the only way out is to get rid of them all. And us to stun. Ref's okay with it though. Wants a competitive game. Anyway, there is a line for us to walk down, but we can't get to the ball, so it should be all good. And the Skaven are going to line up for a mighty blow blitz is the main thing on a tackler. These guys are the biggest problems left for the Skaven to deal with. Zug can be pretty much ignored. He's only movement 5. And another stun. As I said, no knockouts. It's all or nothing today. Now the question is, do we take the gap and go through with gutter runners? Yeah, I would argue if you're setting up like this, to then run back into the danger with the gutter runners kind of defeats the purpose of this setup. So I suspect we'll do something along the lines of passing turn. Mauser has to have a think about it. Down to 2 minutes 58 for the Skaven coach, but it's been a profitable use of the 5 minutes of time bank. Sorry, 4 minutes of time bank, because it's getting them 2 touchdowns. Yeah, the Norse have 1, 2, 3, 4 scoring threats to go for. The Skaven can mark them all, but it's definitely blitzable and clearable. The hard part will be the handoff or the pass, or both. And yeah, Skaven coach happy to let them get 1 back. But then also still have a few more turns to cook something up in the second drive. And they are running out of rats, so every turn the defending gets a little bit harder for the Skaven, because there's just less of them on the pitch. First knockout of the game, I may have spoken that one into existence. And we're down 6 rats now, so yeah, the defense is going to get harder. And the Norse need to make sure they score in the next 2 turns. If they can score in the next 2 turns, this game is certainly still on. And it'll definitely start to favour the Norse. As long as they still have these tacklers. This is the problem though. If they don't get the tacklers nearby, the Bloodstep Gutters will keep the ball away. Speaking of, we're going to try and kill one of them right here, right now. Sidestep can't do anything if they roll a 6. They'll just try and get out the way of the foul as they go down. But no, it's not good enough. It's a head injury. Gutter runner gone. First of the day. And that's all we'll see from Giroud today. Armor bust. Brutal. And I think you kind of have to keep it because this is the playoffs, baby. Now we can quick pass to score with a rush. And that is what we're going to try. Why we don't just rush and hand off is a little bit beyond me. But less dice are better dice, I suspect is the logic. The reroll goes to a 2. And we do catch it. So that's all well and good. We caught the ball. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't have sure hands. So Straquelvium Glass is now looking at this with glee. Although we've still got Sand Dune to activate. So Sand Dune can come and stand here. And all of a sudden they've got to go all the way around for their red die. Although maybe that's better for the Skaven anyway to go all the way around. Because the scatter gets a little bit more favourable to the Skaven. So yeah, let's count this out quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See where this guy ends up. Almost a meat cube, but not quite. Okay. We've marked up the Skaven Blitzer here. And the Skaven have 2 rerolls. They'll have to decide whether they want to try and stop this one or the next one. I say that they'll get the ball, so I suspect, yeah, they'll save their reroll here. They'll just take the quick option. And here we go, red dice and stripping the ball. It's a 2+ dodge whichever way you cut it, but that's what these guys do for a living, so should be fine. And here comes the play. And the guard, the Bloodstep guard is right here to pick up. So there's some very good scatters. Never mind. We're making the strip hit better. I'm a little bit surprised. We found a Skaven coach who doesn't like strip ball red die hits. Certainly something exploitable going forward into the playoffs proper. Anyway, we get the job done here. Both down will be enough, but unfortunately, because of our earlier movement, there's no way for us to recover this ball. Not that it would have been easy anyway. Well, actually, it could have been very easy. Tell a lie. If this gutter runner stays here, and we make that knock down, and the ball does go here, then we can just swoop in and pick off the back corner, and away we go. Oh dear. If Sebstar goes on to win this, I think Naza will look at that turn with disappointment. Not that Blood Bowl players ever VOD review. Come on, let's get real. I'd never VOD review. Anyway, we do get over there. Zai recognises, oh, the gutter runners didn't deal with it. Oh, I guess I have to try. We'll go and stand on the ball. Might be able to get... I think the idea, by the way, is that we'll just tie up enough pieces and maybe he tries to punch the Bloodstepper inadvertently. He does punch the Bloodstepper inadvertently and he doesn't get a 6. So now we're actually going to get ourselves on the ball. Maybe there's some 9D chess where we actually need him here to maximize our blocks against him because we want excess to block him. And then eventually we roll a 6, but it's escaping me, Sebstar. Maybe I'm not clever enough to see the line here. See, in my head, we'd have covered this square with Zug, and then these 2 pushes are okay. Anyway, we stay on the ball. 6 dice, no 6 hit. And we keep it here, because Zai is still nearby. Still -2. And now we're down to 2 dice shots. And I think we have to use the reroll on this tackle hit. If it doesn't get him. It does though. We do finally get a stumbles on the 8th try. The tackle will do its work. Unfortunately, this means that it will be a very difficult pickup now. It'll be a 4+ pickup for excess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the scoring players, we do have an inbuilt reroll for the hardest action. And then it's just a 3-2-3 into a score. So it's still quite a doable score. It's just this pickup can fail. We're playing Khemri Blood Bowl, which is never a place you want to be, which I think is something I say almost every single game. I need to come up with better ways to describe a 4+ roll. We make it though. First time of asking. 3-2, no worries. The handoff, no good. This will be the reroll. Or will it? Or will it? Can Sebstar let this ride? It's the guards on the floor. We know we want to score. We do get the reroll. It's 2-1. 2-1 to the rail coach. The strip sliders. That's the name I was looking for. And now comes the hard part for the Norse, and that's trying to get the ball off one of these gutter runners without a reroll. Praying for a shallow kick, I'd imagine. And Cindy takes the field. She's had enough. She's coming in to finish the job, or at least get this team to OT. Bomb needed. And the artillery setup, I think. Because the bomb is an armor check. So you may well be more likely to get the gutter runners down with a bomb than you are with a non-tackle blitz. It's a 3+ for GFIs with these boys. Oh yeah, because of Drunkard. Of course. God, imagine them in a blizzard. That makes... Yeah, no, you're right. I hadn't noticed that at all. Oh. Not a Norse coach, am I? Alright, we'll chevron it up. And there'll be 3 blitz targets because there's still the 2 tacklers and Cindy. So Sebstar may bait. No, he's not going to. Sometimes maybe he's thinking to bait the blitz into Cindy and then just bring the ball down with tacklers. Doesn't really make that much sense in my head though. And yeah, the Drunkard. Inducement Norse. Having to do reroll struggles. Hasn't hit them so far. But now this is the main thing. The KO stays out, so we've only got 6 rats left to hold on with. And can they do it? Tux is going to have to be the hero, because they're the last Blodstepper standing. Don't like this particularly. I guess the blitz kills you anyway. But I don't like these guys being hilariously deep. I guess it's a last ditch safety, but solid defense. Luckily, it's not a blitz. But now this is incredible. Some scatters can be so good for the Norse here. It's a real problem. The pickup's about to get really hard, and when you go so deep, it does leave you at the mercy of the kickoff table, even more so. And Knauss has gotten punished really hard here. Because we can perfect defense the tackle onto the gutter runners. So that all these little rotations suddenly get very scary. I guess the Skaven do have 2 rerolls, but Cindy gets in position. Ready to bomb anyone running away with the ball. And here we go. Tackle gets in on the gutters, as I said. And we'll see what the scatter is for the Skaven. Oh, it's the best one possible for the Norse. Because the blitzer can't get there. We're 1 square too deep from even touching the play. And all we can do is blitz with Rue to get them in a better position. A huge pickup roll coming now. And I think the Skaven coach will feel diced, but I think this is just a grief and has been punished really hard, if you want my honest opinion. Certainly kicking themselves there that deep. Like if they're stood here, they're probably not going to get blitzed. And they can also get to the line. And we do fail the pickup. And we fail this catch. And the Norse are back in business. Just like that. It's all on the table once again. We go in with the strip wrestle. It is now marked up in 2 places. It can be pushed into Zug for a 3-die hit. So Gas is probably at least getting armor broken. And that makes it a lot more doable. 3-die hit here onto Tux. With tackle this time. don't know. I think it's a real roller coaster of emotions for Canals there, because they've gone from feeling like the game's done on maybe turn 12 when the Norse had to use all their rerolls, and now it's looking very, very easy. The only downside for the Norse, right? Yeah, they take this block, but that involves the sure hands. So we're now rolling straight 3+, no reroll for the pickup, which is a bit terrifying. And Zug will now take his shot. A very important block here for Zug. Gets 2 6s. Damn, he turns up and earns the paycheck here. Can he break? He does. Necessary break. Thumbs up for the head injury. Look at that smug smile. I was just badly hurt. But still, clutch injury there for the star player. Gets the blitz now onto the other guy. And we get a tackle hit onto the gutter runner. Oh, a nice break. Another injury. The Skaven are falling apart. There's only 4 of them left. And there's still blocks to take. And Cindy gets involved. Dodge skill is going to be super useful, because the only tackle is miles away. And yep, that is a tackle doing a thing. We'll try and sidestep towards safety. And no break. So Tux is still in the game at the very least. And yeah, they'll go in with the pro. The poor man's sure hand's not needed, because we do pick it up on a 5. They're in trouble. They're in dire trouble, these rats now. We can even have the luxury of running coach wheel. No, we're going for the foul. Smart man. Desperately needs his foul to work. We get another break. And the ref says, hold on a second. I want my money. And gets it. Huge stun though. And a dub skull. We can't have it all. And is that actually gonna be problematic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if we mark, oh, we snake. Never mind. A dastardly snake in the grass. And we'll be going to overtime at the very least here. I don't know how long that overtime's going to last. But that's it for Cindy. Cindy's just making a brief little cameo here. And with the main thing is we absolutely murdered Tux here. Tux cannot be allowed to activate. Everything else is very easy. And Squab Case Squozen is looking at a suicidal 6-up dive to try and get a block. We'll get the ball into easy scoring range. And oh my goodness. Well, a real turnaround here. The Norse were dead and buried at 2-0 down. The Skaven was submarine setuping to preserve the players. Didn't do them that much good, because they've lost 8 of them to injury. 9 of them to injury, actually. No, it is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is 8 to injury. 5 assists, 4 assist foul. No break. Oh, we get lucky. When you don't see the break, you expect the send-off, but luckily it's a 3, not a 2. But either way, it is a runaway into 3 tackle zones, so we'll go for the star player. Tackle does its work. Cindy is going to eat a mighty blow hit here. Armor 7+ stunty. And that's what happens when you punch it. Instant knockout. Very brief cameo from her. No bombs thrown. And all we can do is jam in. And in doing so, well, they can fill the square up anyway is the problem. There's so many players. Hail Mary guard dodge. Makes it. Gets out. Oh, I think they needed more. I think they needed 2 GFIs to stand here. And try and get some more people out of the play. Try and force some sidestep shenanigans, but as it stands, it's once again quite academic for the Norse to get out of this one with 2-2. Let's have to worry about Turks. But strength 2, no sacking skills. You don't have to overreact too highly. And yeah, Zog's ignoring it. Zog's coming downfield. Trying to be useful on turn 16 in case he's needed. Another break. Just another stun. Yeah, the armor's completely tattered for the Skaven. He can barely take a block. Surprised we're not making this 3 dice. We only need 2 though. And this gives us foul position on the Blitzer. Look at this. So many assists. I think we foul from here, no? Problem is there's no good fouling pieces. Because ideally we want to keep the tackle. No, we don't. We want to foul. Yeah, we need to get this break. Just a stun. Ref's not interested though. Now we can pass. Pass turn, that is. Because it's red die all the way and our guy has block, so it would take a pretty heroic red die to stop this now. Especially with his 2 stuns. I think the best thing you can do is stand excess over here. Because he's already running a big gauntlet to get in. Now he run even further away. I don't like this, to be honest. I suppose the logic is if the ball does go down, it's pretty close to the end zone line, so more players can score. But as it stands, Tux has the hero line 2, -2, -2 out. So what is this? It's and we go out that way. And we're going around, and we get to our red die. Fail at the last try, and we do use the reroll, and that is the skull. So no rerolls left for the Skaven. We were 1 dice away from maybe upsetting on the last turn, but wasn't to be. Eats a stun for good measure, and we're 2-2. No rerolls. The Norse have come back just at the death. And as you can see, there's not a lot of rats available. The Drunk Devils still have a hearty bench. Cindy goes out, but fine. What? Alright, he took it to this game. He set this up. It's a tie, everyone go home.